Should you start a tow truck business? My name's Nate Jones, and this is Business Idea Breakdown, where I break down businesses and I let you know if I would start that business. At the end, I'm going to give it a score between 1 and 10. Anything over 8 is a business I would start. Check out my channel, subscribe and like. I have tons of other videos reviewing businesses and would love to see if I can fit you with the right business. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through 6 things with this business, just like every business. Can it be scaled? Is it profitable? Is it easy to start? What is the time requirement? What are some challenges? And then the most important thing is, can you sell that business? If you can't sell it, it ain't worth starting. That's what I always say. So let's dive into this tow truck business. You're going around, cars are disabled or they're wrecked, and you're putting them on your flatbed or you're hooking them up and you're driving them off for a fee. So here we go. Is this business scalable? Yes, this business is scalable, but every time you scale, you have a fixed expense increase. When you scale a tow truck company, you have to buy another tow truck. Then there's only one of you, so if you've been operating your tow truck just you have to hire another person. So now you have an increased fixed cost of the monthly payment if you're financing the tow truck and the monthly payment of having an employee. So the barrier of entry for scaling is not as easy as I would like, because you have to find the right employee, which is hard to do, and you have to make sure that that employee is taking care of that truck and keeping it maintained. Now you have 2 trucks to maintain, not just one. So, and you're also fixed by your geography. If you are in a city, you cannot tow a car in another state. So you're limited to your radius, which at the end of the day isn't that big of an issue, because there's probably more tows than there are tow trucks, because I know I have some friends that have gotten towed before and they had to wait a long time because there's a shortage of tow truck drivers. So I think there is a need in this business. I just think it's a little bit harder and it's gonna take a little bit longer to scale this business. Okay, going into profitability, let me break this down. I have some numbers to throw your way, and I searched all these numbers by averages. I could be a little off, it could be a little high, a little low, it doesn't matter. But from the average, this is what I saw here. An average tow is anywhere from $75 to $125. So if a tow truck picks your car up and takes it 10-15 minutes down the road, it's going to cost you anywhere from $75 to $125. So I said the average, about $100 a tow. Obviously it may be less, maybe more, depending on where you're at. So I said, what's the average amount of tows that a tow truck can do in a day? And it's between 7 to 10. So I said, okay, let's go to the low end, let's say 7. You're doing 7 a day, and if it takes you 45 minutes, 30 minutes, you're gonna do about 8 hours of work a day. So I said about 7. 7's probably good. You take a break for lunch. Your daily revenue at $100 a tow for 7 tows is gonna be $700. A used tow truck, I saw if you were looking for a nice used tow truck, it'd be about $60,000. Now they go all the way up to 125, and you can probably get a cheap one for 30. But I'm just saying, hey, let's get one that we know we can rely on so we can start making money in this business. So, $60,000, the average profit margin for a tow truck company. That means what amount of profit percentage is the revenue. So it's 70%, so if you're doing a daily revenue of $700, you're gonna bring home $490 in profit. So, let's look at this. If you were to pay the truck cash, which I would actually advise you not to do in this scenario, and I'll tell you in a second, it'll take you 122 days to pay for that truck. Okay, let's say you finance it. Most commercial loans require about 25% down, so I put 25% down. That's a $15,000 payment on a $60,000 truck, and your monthly payment's gonna be around $850 a month. So how long is it going to take you to get that $15,000 back in down payment? It's going to take you 30 days to pay for the down payment. That means 30 days of 7 days of tows. It's going to take you 4 days after that, after you pay the down payment, $15,000, and then you pay 2 monthly payments because the number of days here. It's going to take you about 34 days to cash flow if you buy a tow truck for $60,000. You put $15,000 down and you're paying $849 a month. That's 2 monthly payments plus the $1,500 or $15,000. You're looking at about 34 days to profitability, which is pretty good. I mean, hey, after 2 months, you're making a profit in this business. The rest of the year, what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen the rest of the year? Monthly cash flow. I'm saying if you work 5 days a week, that's 20 days a month, you're going to cash flow $9,800 a month. If we take the loan out of that, you're at $8,951. Let's round it up to $9,000 because I love rounding up. So that's $9,000 a month that you can make, which is around $105,000 to $110,000 a year. That is, the thing I was thinking about this business is, hey, it's all about perspective. If you're at a job and you're making $50,000 to $60,000 a year and you don't see any way in which you can increase your salary, you're kind of at the top, or maybe they're not promoting from within, or you're just kind of at a dead-end job. This is a great business to start because if you work hard and you get organized, you can make $105,000 a year in this business, not telling the actual tax benefits of having a truck and being able to write some of that off. So this is actually a great business. If you're not making over $100,000, I would highly consider saying, hey, I know it's not glamorous to run a tow truck, but you can make $100,000 plus running a tow truck company. That's pretty good, okay? Now, the hard thing, and I'll talk about this later, is the profitability of scaling this business. I think as you go up, your profitability is going to get eaten into, but you can grow this business to be a pretty decent sized business as long as you find the right employees and find the right trucks. Okay, so how easy it is for this business to start. The biggest hurdle in this business is the down payment for a truck. So I would say you're gonna look around maybe 15 to 25% down for a truck. If you get a middle run truck, you're gonna be around 15,000. So that's a hurdle for some people. You're gonna need tows. You're gonna need people to go pick up, right? And it seems like there's a lot of companies out there that are kind of like towing brokerages, means that, hey, I actually have people that are calling me wanting tows. I don't actually own a tow truck company, but I have a network of tow truck companies that are wanting to do that stuff. So I think if you work with a good towing broker, you can get a lot of jobs. So I don't know if that's as big as a hurdle in this business. Learning how to operate a tow truck, making sure that you know how to operate it, that's gonna be a hurdle for some people, because if they don't have any background in that, they're gonna have to learn it, which I think YouTube's very helpful with this. And then also making sure that you're a good driver. You're gonna be out there on some of the days which the weather is really bad, it might be really snowy where you're at, but there's gonna be a lot of traffic, and you gotta make sure that you know how to drive a big truck, because if you don't, you're gonna be hitting everybody and you're gonna go out of business because your insurance is probably not going to insure you. Okay, time requirement. How much time does this business require? This is a full-time job. Unless you're hiring somebody right away, but that really eats into your profitability, and it's really gonna be hard for you to turn a profit. But I'm talking about you starting it and you operating it. It's gonna require a lot of time. It's gonna be a full-time job, and a lot of tow truck companies are open 24/7. So that means that, hey, it might be 3 a.m. and you gotta pick up the phone and go do a job. But at the end of the day, like I said, the money in this business is pretty plentiful. So if you're okay with saying, hey, I don't really know my schedule for the week, it basically just depends on what jobs I get, then this is a great business for you. But if you're like, hey, I want to take a vacation every 3 or 4 months, probably not the business for you. But again, there's a massive opportunity in this business. So if you fit that mold, then yeah, I think you should do it. Okay, what are some challenges? Challenges that I was just talking about with the time. I'm talking about burnout. Burnout could be a challenge for you if you're working, if you're getting calls at 3 a.m., then you get another one, you go to sleep and you get another call. I feel like you could get really easily burned out on this business. I think scaling, like I said before, making sure that you have the right employees, the right trucks, it's gonna be a challenge to continue to scale this business. But again, great business. I really like this. So the last thing here, is this sellable? Is this business, can you sell it for more than the net income? And it looks like if you have a great tow truck business, you have a great business, you can sell for around 2 times the net income. So if your net income's 100 grand, you could sell for 200 grand. That usually includes the equipment. If it's just a one-man shop and you don't have any contracts, you don't have any existing relationships, you don't have any basically reoccurring revenue, and it's basically just all from a broker, then your value of the tow truck company is really your equipment, not necessarily your business name. So this is what I always say. When you're building a business, you need to make sure that you're building a business that people are coming back to, because that's what's going to help sell your business someday. If people know you and they want you, meaning you, your business, they want your business name, they want you, and they keep coming back, and somebody could easily take over that business, manage it and run it, and nothing would really change revenue-wise, then you're going to be able to sell it for a multiple. So this is really context when it comes to the actual tow truck company. If it's a business that is generating leads from its website, it has direct contracts with maybe some local police departments or something, then yes, I think you could be able to sell this for a multiple of the net income. But if it's just a business where you're just picking up the phone and somebody else is doing all the work, creating all the leads, then I think you're gonna be able to sell for the equipment and maybe a little bit for the name, but that's about it. So this being said, I gave this business, I was nice about this, I gave this business an 8.3. Anything over 8 is a business I would start. The reason I would start this business is I'm looking at this from the lens of the average salary that people have. The average salary people have in America is, I think it's like $58,000. If you're making $60,000, you're eating crap from your boss, you have 2 weeks vacation a year, and there's no way for you to get an increase in your salary, then yes, I would highly consider starting this business, because you could make $40,000 more a year and be a business owner and build equity in something. So yeah, I would highly consider you start this business. And it's very similar to the dumpster rental business, but the only thing I like about it is I think a tow truck company, you can really add more value than dumpster rental. I think you can show up on time, you can get contracts, and you can have you can almost create a reoccurring revenue stream, which is what I like to be able to sell a business. So 8.3, comment below, do you have a current tow truck company? Would you even start one? And what other businesses do you want me to review? Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.